Hi guys, a quick update video from me on this fine Saturday. I promised you an update on how I buy companies and how I've developed business in the last 3 months or so. So let's start with pillar 3 that I always talked about, which is my moonshot of buying more companies to add to my existing companies to roll them into a bigger entity. So first, to debunk something, so there's a lot of videos out there that try to teach you how to buy companies with no money up front. Now, this is not what that is. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. So I've actually got years of experience in mergers and acquisitions. And while buying companies doesn't have to be complex, you do either have to bring equity, so a bit of money, or at least sweat equity, so your time that's coupled with an expertise that you have. And the easiest expertise to bring when you're buying small to medium-sized companies, of course, is marketing and sales. So if you're able to go into a business owner and say, look, I want a slice of your company, I want some equity, but in exchange, I'm going to help you grow the company, and this is my track record of doing this somewhere else, then you're much, much more likely to succeed. The alternative, of course, the simple alternative is you bring money and you say, I want to buy your company. Where do I find companies like that? Well, first of all, I look for companies that are similar to mine. So I'm looking for companies that are in the software space, and I'm looking for owners that actually want to sell. Lots of reasons why you would want to sell your company. The most typical one is you have a really nice owner-led company and the owner wants to continue for a little while, but doesn't have a succession plan, so doesn't know who to give the company to when they retire, and they may be between 50 and 70 and they want to work a little less. And that's a good time for someone with lots of energy to come in, someone with an existing company who can say, here's the company that I have, it looks very similar to yours, very similar customer base. Why don't we put our companies together and I gradually take over? And then there's different deal structures. So for instance, I work in your company and you give me a share of the company, or I buy your company, or I buy your company over time, where first we work together for a bit, which I've done recently, and then I take over the rest of the company over time while we grow it together, and you get to take some money out, or you stay on the board or whatever. So that's something I do. At the moment I'm sourcing, so I'm looking for digital marketing, social media marketing, website development, and other software development companies in the range of $500,000 to roughly 10 million in annual revenue that I'm looking to join up with my current company. And that's actually going really well. There's a lot of people in an age bracket where they say, well, I want to work a little less over time, and I have no one to hand this over to. My children don't want the company. My business partner doesn't want the company, so looking to make some money, but I also care about the well-being of the employees and the company, so I wanted to continue. And that's where I come in with my business partners. And we talk about what we can do for you. That's our pillar 3. That's my pillar 3. So as I told before, I needed to make some quick money, some quick sales, some exchanging time for money so that I could make ends meet in the summer. And the second bit was growing the businesses, growing the services in what I have, the sales training, the leadership training, but also the software company services portfolio, which we've done, which we continue to do. And then the big one, we make big changes, is when you actually merge, when you buy another company. So think about this, right? So if I exchange my time for money and I go to someone and do consulting for them, well then I can charge, let's say, £2,000 a day, right? And that's the limit. I build out a service where the marketing is automated and people actually buy our software development services. Well, that can be 20 grand a day. That can be 20,000 a day, because we can have several people working on rolling out that product or working out how to build software for you client side. So that has much more of an upside. And then the third one is even better, right? So if I buy a company that already makes 5 million in revenue a year, well then we've just added 5 million to our annual revenue. So one is high risk and high reward, because buying a company also takes a long time, and at any stage in the process, that might go wrong and we don't end up making a deal. But the rewards are much higher. And low risk and low reward, of course, is if I sell my time for money. If we agree to do some sort of an advisory role for me, or I help you with your sales pipeline or your branding, your company brand, or entering a new market, then yeah, that's fairly short term. We might we actually always do build a long-term relationship with each other, but that's not sort of high risk, high reward. Now, what else have I been up to in the last couple of months? And how have I developed business? And really, there's no secret to this either. There's no marketing automation, there's no search engine optimization that I've done to any large degree. So 80% of my business has actually come from unexpected sources. And I'll break that down in a moment because this is the exciting one. And then I've had about 15% of my business has come from my phone book. I'll explain that as well. And then the remaining 5% have been online, where someone's just reached out and said like, hey, I know what you did. I know what you did last summer. I know what you did with that other company. Can we have a talk? And this is the one where lots of people put a huge amount of effort into this, into optimizing search engines or digital marketing, and they don't always see a lot of returns. But this is a long game. This takes a really long time, my friends. Now the second one, this one was immediate, my phone book, and it's actually really simple. In your phone book, you have a lot of people who know you, who like you, and even if they can't buy your service or your product or don't want to, they know someone who might. So in my first month, what I did was I called almost everyone in my phone book and I said, hey, this is what I do now. Would you know anyone who needs these kind of services and would be open for a discussion or has a network for this or would be willing to help me along in terms of moving forward with this? And this actually gave me, now over the last 6 months or so, or how many months is it? Over the last 4 months, this has been about 15%, but in the beginning this was actually 100%. This is what I did. I called people, I booked meetings, and we went for it. And I think your phone book is an underutilized tool. A lot of the time people don't use their phone book as well as they should. They go on LinkedIn, they go on Facebook, they go everywhere else but their phone book. But some of your oldest contacts, some of the contacts that you know the best, your old classmates, your study buddies, they're in your phone book most likely. And then there's the 80% of the unexpected, and these are basically sales where someone's approached me and said like, hey, can you do this? Can we do something? And they're unexpected but somehow expected as well. Let me explain. They're based on personal brand, right? So this is the kind of business that's come in because I've given a keynote for free 3 years ago. And people remember that keynote on sustainability and packaging. They come and say, hey man, we've got this event going on. We would really need a good keynote speaker for this. And then I've gone, yeah, but I'd like to be paid, please. And would you also like me to take over production and moderate the event? And then I send a proposal and then they said yes. Or they've come to me and said like, hey, I saw that you now do the sales training that I've heard so much good about. You're involved in that as well. You have actual experience in my industry. Would you be open for a chat? I've been like, yeah, let's have a talk. So they're unexpected in a way because in the moment they're unexpected, but long term they shouldn't be because your personal brand is everything. So the integrity that you've shown over the years, the favors you've done for people, the things that you've helped them with, and the pleasantness of the interactions that you've had with people over a long period of time are what makes people remember you in the moment. So when they look for something to buy, when they look for help, they think of you first because you did right by them in a previous life or before. And that's how personal brand works. And that's why hard selling doesn't work that well, because hard sales basically, no one likes being sold to. Everyone loves to buy, right? And so if I want something, I think of the people that can provide that and the people that in my mind have the best expertise or the best combination of expertise and price point and pleasure to work with, then that's the people I reach out to. So all those people need to do is to make sure that I remember them in a positive light for the work that they've done. And I must have done okay for and with people in the last 10 years or so, because people now that they know that I'm available actually have a conversation. Sometimes we just have a conversation. It doesn't go to business at all, but that conversation is really valuable because what we need to do, of course, at all times, I want to do, that's really what I want to do, is I want to connect with my network on a human level. And later down the line, maybe we do business together, maybe we don't. It doesn't really matter, right? It's about connecting in a way that is meaningful to both of us. And I ramble, so I'll stop right here. I've said my bit. Any questions inbox me any questions, comment on the video, reach out to me. I know that these are always snapshots and I really don't break things down all that much, but that's because I'm trying to cram a lot of content into a short period of time and you're not ready to watch me for 90 minutes, right? So that's why. Please subscribe if you can, and let's have a conversation and have a great weekend when it starts.